So one of the things that I see with a lot of the organizations that we're working with is the emphasis on talent development, retention, and attraction. So what I want to talk to you about today as part of our Leaders Digest newsletter is how to support that, how to think about that within your organization so that it works for you. So my name is Anthony Taylor. I'm the CEO at SME Strategy. We facilitate strategic plan creation and support teams with implementing it. And one of the big things that I've seen over the past, I'd say about year and a half, is increasingly organizations are putting an emphasis on talent development, talent retention, talent attraction, so that they can continue to compete in this market. So, of course, you would have heard about the great resignation over the past couple of years. A lot of people are leaving their jobs, whether that's better opportunities, whether that's because it's highly competitive, whether they want to follow their purpose. And so you have organizations that are wanting to continue to grow and develop. And what they're faced with is a talent shortage. So whether that's a people shortage, as in just bodies, or talent as in skills. And so within your organization, if talent development, retention, and attraction, which is a mouthful, is a strategic priority for you, I want to give you two ways to think about how to implement that and how to support moving that forward. So you can kind of think about it in two buckets. One is design and one is implementation. And so a correct organizational design or program development design is critical to support it. You can do a bunch of stuff, but if you don't do the right stuff, it's going to be challenging. And of course, there's the implementation. Are you putting the time, money, energy, resources behind it? One of the cool things about seeing it be a strategic priority is that leaders, CEOs, leadership teams are recognizing the importance of doing it. Now, how do you implement it? So I want to break down a couple things that I'm seeing. So one is, there's a lot of money going into attraction, because you're like, okay, we need to get them into the kind of top of the funnel, so to speak. So how do we get people into our organization? How do we put energy behind recruiting? How do we put energy towards selection? How do we make sure that we've got enough people in the funnel to support our organizational goals? Now, while that's great, and you see organizations spending tons of money on that, what I also see is people not putting enough money, emphasis, focus on retaining, developing, and supporting those people. So you bring them into the top, and then they fall out the bottom. Alternatively, you have people that are really great within your organization, but they won't stick around because you're not putting the focus on keeping them. So instead of, for the sake of today, focusing on, hey, bringing them in the front end, I want to focus on bringing them in the back end so that you can create an environment that supports them. So what does that mean? You might have heard culture, a lot of people talking about organizational culture, and it's evolved over the past couple of years. Now, what does that really mean? It's creating a great dynamic that your people can succeed in. It means that they want to stay. It means that they can thrive. It means that they see a future. Because if they see a future, both economically, as in they keep making money and that's a good deal for them compared to somewhere else in the market, or they see personal growth, whether that's personal growth in terms of satisfaction, whether that's personal growth in terms of skill, all of those things are going to support them and want them to stay. So they need to see a career path. They need to know how to be successful, which is kind of formalizing those values, formalizing those roles and responsibilities. But it also means that they have the right kind of team dynamic and dynamic with their people that makes them want to stay in the organization. My wife and I have been watching this show that Lizzo hosts, where she's trying to find her new dance troupe group. And going through the process, she really emphasizes culture. And she does that in two ways. One of them is saying, hey, you all have to work together. You all have to trust each other. And then the other is that she gives out awards, the 100% That Bitch Award and the Juice Award every week to support the values and behaviors that she expects within the organization and her team. Now, what does that do? And what does that mean for you? Is that by delivering those awards, by emphasizing the culture, by emphasizing the fact that it's not just about your skills, but it's how you work together as a team, it creates greater trust, it creates greater loyalty, and it creates an environment where people want to be there. So what does that mean for you? Within your organization, of course, you need to put time, money, energy, and focus on bringing people in. You also need to make sure that people are staying because they want to stay. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Is your organization, is the role something that people want to stay in? Do they see that longevity? Some people design roles, design organizations, design functions with just, hey, I need to plug a hole. I have a gap. Versus saying, am I bringing somebody in who could potentially stay in my organization for 5, 10 years because I've got a path for that person? So are you thinking about that role from your perspective? I just need somebody to do a job. Or are you thinking it from their perspective so that they can have longevity, they can have growth, and they can have support? The other piece that's really important towards that, like employee being successful within the organization, is the safety part. And so that's where you as a leader have to play a key role in being able to come down from where you're at to meet them, to make sure that they have what they need to feel safe. Now, safe means in terms of values, behavior, and culture, that they know that they're doing the right things. It's safety as in if they're doing something, they're kind of supported in terms of being able to fail only because they are taking that next step within their growth, within their capabilities, and they're innovating. So Tony Robbins talks about human beings needing both certainty and uncertainty. Certainty because you can't be continuously kind of fighting for your life, because that'll get exhausting and you'll leave that environment. And then uncertainty because you don't want to get bored. So within your people and within your teams and within your organizations, making sure that you have the right amount of certainty so that they understand how to, be calm and thrive and be able to be okay, but enough uncertainty in terms of learning, growth, development, that they can expand and self-actualize better. So if we take all of that together and we look at you as a leader trying to focus on people development and talent attraction and retention, first is making sure you have the right resources in terms of, are you going to be able to deliver what you want from the talent development, retention, and attraction? The other is within your organization, making sure that you create an environment where people feel safe, where people feel supported, where they can succeed and grow, and then also have that longevity so that they see your job and this opportunity, your company or organization, as a place they can be for a long time. If you only design your programs for short term, for filling gaps, for just making sure the job gets done, you're going to have a rotating wheel of talent and people, and more precisely people. But if you look at how you can nurture the human being, how you can create an environment for them, and how they can be there for a long time, you're going to have much greater ROI on your development and attraction efforts, and it's going to support your organization in being able to accomplish their objectives. Let's not forget, the only reason that you're focusing on this is so that you can meet your company goals. So throughout all of the design, throughout all of the implementation, you need to make sure, hey, is this tying back to our vision? Is this tying back to our mission? Is this tying back to our strategic priorities? You might not necessarily need to add a lot more people. You just need to make sure that you have the right people for the right jobs. And there's opportunities for you to streamline processes, for you to innovate, for you to be able to look at new ways of doing things to make sure that you're getting the best output, again, to accomplish your goals. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you check out some of the resources that we've collated for you in our first edition of Leaders Digest on talent development, retention, and attraction. Man, I have a hard time saying that. It's such an important thing facing leaders. It's going to continue to evolve over time. There's more and more players in the space, whether that HR consultants or recruiting firms or talent development companies. So as those things develop, the market is going to change, people's needs are going to change. And as we enter into a arguably more volatile economic environment, the needs of your people are going to change. So if as a leader, you're not connected to what your people need and want, and you're slow to react, they're going to move towards companies that are faster to react to their needs. So at the end of the day, make sure you understand the needs of your people, make current and future, and make sure you've got programs designed well to meet their needs. So hopefully that helps you move forward on your people development, attraction, and retention priority, and it supports you in creating a long-lasting, sustainable organization that meets its goals. So once again, my name is Anthony Taylor. I'm the CEO at SME Strategy. We support teams with implementing and creating their strategic plans. Be happy to have a conversation with you on how you can incorporate that talent development within your strategic plan if it's a priority and something that's concerning you for 2022 and beyond. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to connect with us. And if you have any thoughts, feedback on the video, please drop it in the comments. We'd love to have a conversation with you here or on LinkedIn. Talk to you soon.